चित्तस्य पदेन वाचा मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोतं प्रवरं मुनीनां पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि। सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। यस्यान्तानादिमध्यं नहि करचरणं नाम गोत्रं न सूत्रं नो जातिर्नैव वर्णो न भवति पुरुषो नानपुंसं न च स्त्री नाकारं नाविकारं न हि जन्ममरणं नास्ति पुण्यं न पापं नो तत्त्वं तत्त्वमेकं साजसमरसं सद्गुरुं त्वं नमामि सद्गुरुं त्वं नमामि। I am offering my namaskaras to Sanatana Dharma, Shankaracharya and all my gurus, and I start this today's session. I also welcome you all and wish you all a happy Ugadi. Let's start today's session. So we are already into Patanjali Yoga Sutra, learning about that. So Patanjali Yoga Sutra, out of 8 pillars, Yama Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. So out of 8 pillars, we have seen first pillar Yama we have seen fully. So then second pillar we came. Second pillar, second limb we can call Anga is limb. If second limb is Niyama is there. In Niyama there are 5 Niyamas. We already studied 2 Niyamas, and today we will go into the third Niyama. So the third Niyama is Tapas. Tapas, what we know is not the tapas whatever we have seen in the what we believe in our concept. That is, our concept is we have seen movies, we have been influenced, we have seen the pictures and all those things, standing on one leg and making ears together tapas with that of body and all. Where is the time today? So yoga, this Patanjali Yoga is not talking about that type of tapas. So the tapas here is, we have to understand the intricacy of the introspection of this we have to do. So normally we are doing only by hear and say, but tapas is the correct meaning of Patanjali. What he says is willful self-denial to establish self-mastery over one body, my own body and sense organs and mind. So that is called tapas according to Patanjali. According to Patanjali, what is, once again I will say, is the tapas means willful self-denial to establish mastery. Mastery on what? Over my own body and also over my sense organs and over on my mind. So it is a willful self-denial it is saying. So willful means, in order to have a willful, we should have the first knowledge of what is good, what is not good, and all those things. For that, we have to have the scriptural knowledge, and also we should have come to this level of viveka. We should have wisdom towards that, which is right, which is wrong, and all wisdom should be there. So once wisdom we have got it, then which is the practice we have to avoid, which is the practice we have to continue. So that is called willful self-denial. Self-denial means we unknowingly we must have done lot of practices, but today by getting the wisdom, I will be talking about which I have to follow, which I should not follow. So that is the earlier somehow without my knowledge I came and I have made lot of habits, lot of good habits, lot of bad habits, everything has been done. But today, after knowing the wisdom, what is good for you? The wisdom is not only earning and living for the sake of living. It is not that. So we have seen dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So this one is earning dharmic way and also getting into moksha is the wisdom. The wisdom is we have to get into the moksha. All the human beings, all the people, the intellect is given or the wisdom is given or this free will is given, where animals it has not been given. Animals it is only a basic needs are given. Ahara, Nidra, Maithuna, Bhaya. Only 4 basic instincts are there. So it doesn't have any its will. So I want to build a house like this, architect, this entrance, this is the elevation. All these things are not there for the animal. So animal 10,000 years also back the same way it is building the house. If a bird is building a house, same way it is building. Today also it's building. After 10,000 years also it will build. A honey bee is building 10,000 years also before the honeycomb is same way. And today also same, even after 10,000 years it will. There is no free will for it. It is all basic instinct are there. With the basic instinct programmed, the factory setting is there. So with that only it is making its living. Only for the human being, out of 84 lakh species, the only human being has got a free will, that intellect, which is given because God in his God creation also, right from amoeba to the fully developed man. So it's happening because the man after development where he has to go also has been written in the scriptures, because otherwise he will become Rakshasa. So he will make a bomb and put and kill everybody. So that is not the purpose. So he has to become Asura to Deva. Asura to Manava first. Asuri Sampat to Manavi Sampat. Manavi Sampat to Daivi Sampat. Then we have to become God by ourselves. So that is the purpose of living. So but we know only the 2 purpose. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Only Artha, Kama only we know the purpose. Earning money and fulfilling our desires is only 2 things we know. So that is further with the free will has to be done like this. Earning money and fulfilling our desires, all animals are doing. So they are fulfilling the sexual desires, that is Maithuna. Artha, Kama, they don't have that Artha, they don't make a rupee earning or something like that. Whenever they are hungry, they go and hunt and be happy like that only. And they don't keep it for tomorrow also. So they are happy, eat after 1 week, another somewhere they will get hungry. Their body system on tune to like that only. So they will be going on. But here we have a accumulation methodology also. And also we can earn, we have only created the rupee. The rest all the thing is created by God only. But man has created only this rupee or whatever the money. That money only is shaking the whole world. One thing God created, one thing man created. But man, all God has created everything. It is not shaking the world. Only that one thing, the money, what he has created by the man, is shaking the world. So this is Asuri Sampattu. We have to see from Asuri Sampattu to Manavi Sampattu and then Daivi Sampattu. Our transformation has to happen. So that is the purpose. That is called wisdom. So once we get into the wisdom, automatically we know things we cannot go, because it needs lot of efforts to go there. Lot of efforts to go there means we need also a sadhana. A sadhana means a transportation mechanism. I have to be taken from this point to the next point or the destination. So that is a transportation mechanism is required. Myself I cannot just like that fly and go sit there, and all this not possible. So here the tapas means is also one of the sadhana. The sadhana is our mind and body only has to take us to the destination. Who am I? So initially I know myself as a body and mind. Okay, if you know you as, first you take charge of the body and mind. So that is the first purpose of sadhana, tapas here. So if you are not towards the right goal, we have to have our own daily activities. So what is the right goal? Up to 30, 40 years, maybe we will be looking at earning money, fulfilling our desires, or only the motive. That is the only purpose of our living. Everything we have done like that. But slowly it is getting bored. So then we are thinking of what is the purpose. We are start searching the purpose of our life. The purpose of our life is given like this only, dharmartha kama moksha. There is no other purpose possibilities are there. So this is the only route for everybody. 10,000 years before, or even any human being when he started, everybody wants to go to Swarga. Swarga is the higher loka, higher plane, where every comforts are there. That is all the imagination has been done. Nobody wants to go to Naraka. That means that is the progress has to happen. Swarga Naraka is created, in between Bhuloka is created in order to picturize the people to take it to the good things. So that is the purpose of living. So here tapas means it is willful self-denial. It is said willful self-denial means, see, I have become this one, knowingly or unknowingly I started certain things doing regularly. So right from the childhood, initially we do them voluntarily. For example, child will not know how to eat food. We will be making it to practice by hand eating the food or by spoon eating the food. So it becomes a habit. So afterwards, voluntarily when it is started eating, and it is out of our own choice we started eating, we have cultivated one of the habit, that is eating. For example, anything what we are having is all habit. So but the habit has become so strong, we have become addicted to that. So when we discover that we have become addicted, our ego will not permit. You are not addicted. No, it is moderately you are doing everything. So it will not identify even the habit or whatever addiction already happened. It will not say you are not addicted. The ego comes in the way. Whereas the wisdom, the self-denial is willful denial. Self-denial is willful self-denial means with the wisdom we have to identify. For example, many of us, coffee is an addiction. So if your coffee you don't drink, you will get headache, or you will not get every day you have to go to toilet, you cannot go to toilet. So many psychological addictions are there. physical addictions are there. Like that, we have become addicted to our own body, mind. So our own organs, we have been addicted. So when we have become addicted, where is the freedom? Moksha we are talking about. First, we don't know how to come out of our mind, body. What is the slavery? Already we have become slave. From that itself, if we cannot get freedom, then what is the question? Where is the question of getting ultimate moksha? Is it possible? So we have to look into that. So first we have to get out of this slavery. So that get out of this slavery, what we have to do? Suppose, for example, one day, if I say coffee, 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 my mind morning it starts japa. If I start doing it, today I will say I don't want to give you coffee, for example. So you have to start observing what happens. Your mind will start strike. I don't want to do the next job. So unless I get the coffee, I cannot. My body also make a strike. I will not get from this place out. So like that, some of the strong addictions will immobilize us. So that means we cannot go from that point to the next point. We are stuck to that. If the habit has been so much, and who is responsible for the addiction? We ourselves. Who else? All addictions, everything, even if I am making a hand like this every now and then, so that is a habit. I am addicted to that. Or I am scratching my head like this. It is I have become addicted to that. So now I don't know, without my knowledge, I have been addicted to thousands of habits. Some of the habits may be good, most of the habits may not be good. So these are all the distraction things. So this distraction has to be removed. That is called tapas. So this we have to make a tapas means, that is why it is said the willful self-denial. It is not forced by outside. So if in a house you tell children you have to eat this rice and sambar, so it becomes a force, for example. So by force, more dislike will happen. So they don't want to. They also make strike. So they have to love and take the food, whatever it is there. So the same way, when a child itself is able to do that, by body-mind complex also, if you force, it will make strike. So we have to make it how to love. That is called tapas. So whatever advice we give, it has to be a loving advice to my own body and mind. So that is tapas. Not forcing is not tapas. Forcing on yourself will make it the body mind strong. It will not make strong. It will make rebellion. It will be rebelling. It will to yourself only. It will not listen to you. It makes strike. So that is why in our tradition the upavasa or the ekadashi and all such things are made to tame the body and mind. Once in a while I say no to the food. So then what happens? Body will ask food, tapas, it will make a japa. Morning to evening, you already morning over coffee, you are not taken breakfast, you are not taken that, this. So the japa of the food only it will do. Initially, first start when you are starting Ekadashi, you may find that. Slowly, your mind will understand, yeah, once in a 15 days I am doing this Ekadashi. So I need not make this food japa. So it is for my own goodness I am doing. So then slowly what happens? It accepts. So when the tapas, then slowly it becomes tapas. So the tapas only gives you a toughness of your personality. So we are ready to undergo for any hardship in life. Otherwise, even smallest difficulty we get disturbed. So that is why tapas means willful self-denial. It is not forced on somebody. When it is forced, it becomes a rule. So when it is forced, we are always the traffic rule. If we are thinking that it is a force, it is a rule I have to follow because they have laid down the rules I have to follow, then you try to not to follow. Many of the time, only police is there, you will follow. Only cameras are there, you will follow. Otherwise, you don't want to follow. But if you understand the safety rules of the road safety or the driving, all the traffic rules, you will not, you will respect that and honor by your whole mind, you are following it. It is not external force. You are accepted that it is required for me. So like that, tapas is, this is the conversion of the mind forcing to become willful is the tapas. So we have to get into this. So it is a type of austerity or it is a type of discipline. So discipline, when you do, what happens? Burning of desires is, there are certain desires which are helpful for moksha, certain desires are not helpful for moksha. It is distracting, taking away from you moksha, your purpose of living. Then they are not called the right purpose. It is all wrong purpose. The right purpose we have to understand by the study of scriptures. Now we have to go to the right purpose. That means the tapas is burning. Tapa is in Sanskrit is tapa. Tapa is temperature. So tapa from temperature means what it is happens, it burns. So tapas means it is burning. Burning of what? A wrong desire to and remaining the good desire, taking us for the right purpose. So that is called tapa. So tapaha, what it burns? It burns away impurities. What type of impurities? Physical impurities are there, mental impurities are there, emotional impurities are there, which we have accumulated over years, which we don't know it is impurity. So the impurity is understood by the study of scripture or by the guidance guru. Now we have to burn, because if it is there, there is no new thing can come inside. So we have to burn those impurities physically, mentally and emotionally. That is called tapas. Not standing on one leg or dipping inside the water. All these things are, it is on picturization and all start. But that may be good when people were living for 1,000 years. Their age was Satya Yuga and all people used to live. It is said, it is on story or something like that. Even today we can live only 100 years, 120 years. We cannot go on doing that tapas like that. So Patanjali is also not advising like that. Patanjali is telling, and Shankaracharya is also telling, Shankaracharya is 800 years. 800 BC, 8 BC he is there, AC. So 788 he has born. Whereas Patanjali is 500 BC, very recent, 2500 years. So like that, they are not telling, they are also people used to live 100, 120 years, they are not. So within that all the sadhana, and we have to get into the wisdom and moksha. So that is the purpose. The Patanjali has written the Yoga Sutra, how fast we can go, how we can do. So tapas means, it is not a laziness. I don't want to do that, I don't want to, what is required like that. Tapas means, it is a energy focusing and energy channelizing to a required area. Unnecessarily we are doing lot of activities. So thereby we are losing energy and time. We have limited time of 100 years. So we have to do the required, that is what I am telling, the moksha, dharmartha, kama, moksha. Artha, kama, everybody starts. But only after some time acquiring all those things, they feel it is nothing is there in this. It is only an attraction. But something else must be there for my life purpose. When they understood that wisdom when it comes, so they come into here. So a tapas is required because of that. It is not a laziness. We are not cultivating laziness. We are cultivating all the energy to the required area, required direction. So that is the purpose of that. So what Patanjali says, you go on practicing. That he says as make abhyasa. Whatever the right thing you have understood now, you start making the abhyasa. Practice and all is coming in your way. No doubt, he says. When you start practicing, all is coming your way. All good things are coming in your way. So we have to, what is for that? What is that obstructing? That means what is that preventing me to do that? There is a self-talk is happening. That means we should make tapas means willful. That is again and again we have to think. Willful. That means we have to have the courage not to listen to the voices in our head. That is the self-talk. So what is that? Our self-talk will happen. So my mind may say, Prasad, you are not strong enough. Prasad, you are not good enough to attempt the new things. So all my self-talk only, that is the ego play is happening. So it says whenever I want to do tapas, like willful and taking to the right direction, my own mind will say something outside, people are not talking. So my own mind is telling, Prasad, you are not strong enough. Prasad, you are not good enough to attempt all these new things. So slowly, who wins? My ego wins or my tapas wins? Is the only question. For that, there are additional sadhanas are there. Further, he is going to tell meditation and pranayama and all. But first is to start with, you have to know, you have to go into the way of tapas. So that is the purpose of tapas he has introduced here. So normally any transformation happens only when we allow the change to happen. That means very simple thing. Patanjali says, if you don't allow any change to happen in your life, there is no transformation can happen. You are remaining the same person. I am doing the same thing, you are getting the same thing. If you want to get a new thing, you have to change the way what you are working earlier also. That means a change is required. So the transformation generally happens only when the change in our habits, change in our life happens. Otherwise, there is no transformation possible. Our personality will not transform. To that, what happens to be done? They say, Patanjali, stepping outside your comfort zone and practicing. So everybody likes, who doesn't want to sleep up to 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, everybody wants. That is a comfort zone. So stepping outside your comfort zone and practicing is tapas. So that means, what is the fun in staying up to 9 p.m., 9 a.m. Morning, if I do lot of, I will get another 2 hours. If I get at 5 o'clock, up to 9 o'clock, 4 hours I am additionally getting to practice something in my life. I can achieve new things. If you train like that, you start getting up at 5 o'clock. So you have to give a better attraction of sleeping and better attraction, and that is called tapas. And it is just like mending our children. So we make our children to listen to us. The same way we have to make this practice. Here he is telling only tapas, but how to make it to happen is further he will be telling in dharana, dhyana, samadhi, pratyahara and all. So you have to wait up to that. How to talk to your mind and make it to listen to you is he is telling in the future things. But in order to have which is the journey, what road you have to take is this tapas. So you have to remember in your mind this tapas is required. If we ourselves are not confident, if we are afraid, so then where we can grow? We cannot grow. We will be living in the same thing. So Newton's law also says, an object, if external force is not given, it continues to stay in its own place. So if a object has to be displaced from this place to another place, an external force is required. Similarly, All my old habits has to be removed and only keep good habits. Adding on good habits is an external force is required. External force is not the outsider. I cannot hire 10 people to make this force. So I myself, I have only totally, if you say 100% of my energy is there. So where all it is wasting, I have to find out and plug all those wasting of energy and use the same energy to cultivate the good habit, to remove the bad habit. So this is the energy management. So we have to learn that. That will be further in asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. It will come step by step. It will come. So, but through and through, our mind should be keeping on tapas. The tapas means wasting of my energy. All those things we have to identify. Which are the habits is wasting of my energy. My energy may be not only physical energy, mentally I waste energy and get into difficulties. So emotionally I will get disturbed. Psychologically I will get disturbed. Or I am spending lot of money. I am wasting lot of items. All those things because of the bad habit. So we have to learn that. So when we identify that, avoiding the stopping of wastages is a way to become rich. It is not only we think earning more only the way to become rich. No. When you are earning more and more, you neglect the importance of the things what you are having. So you forget and you will allow to destroy whatever you are having. So when you know it is getting destroying you, so all the new things what you are earning also can get destroyed. To become rich, what is there? You have to find out what all the wastages I am doing. So it is not in the terms of money here we are telling. It is an inner wealth. This inner wealth has to be not wasted. Inner wealth has to be more invested, not wasted. It should be invested and we should get more dividend of the inner wealth. So that means then only it will take us to peace and freedom. So if you are going to get peace and freedom, it is worth going for a rough road. A bumpy road is there. I have to travel to a difficult road like tapas, austerity, and I have to do. It is still worth now because you are getting peace and freedom. So that is the purpose of tapas. Tapas means we have to cultivating. It is important what this doing tapas is. We have to start positively and with love. Any activity of cultivating new habit or removing the new bad habit, it should be out of positivity and love you have to do, not out of fear. Because somebody sees me like this, if I am doing like drinking and all that. So then if somebody feels I am smoking, so because of that fear, my elders are seeing, because of that fear you want to get rid of the habit, your mind will say, no problem. So you, without in front of them, you don't do. You go and do with not in front of them. So like this it will teach. So it will teach you how to steal from the elders. Like that everything it will teach. So if it is out of your positivity, we will do better. So that is our ego play is here happens. Ego tells but our tapas has to tell we have to do. So what it is, a fight is happening. So how to win the fight is that is practice. By practice we have to continuously do. So that will be igniting your inner fire. So once your inner fire is ignited and slowly and very fastly you are going to do big changes. So that is called tapas. Tapas means you have to educate and stopping the wasting of energy, willful self-denial in order to get the mastery over our mind and body and emotions. Then the fourth is called Swadhyaya. Here he is enumerating, but immediately your mind will ask, what is, you have said that self-denial, willful and all these things all looks very great. How to do it? So you have to wait. The how to do it is the other sadhana. In the same way he is telling on the asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana. All these are step by step unfolding is happening. But you should have somewhere first thing first. So that is what tapas, you have to keep it in mind. So from today only, what all possible from your side, you start doing the tapas. That is what it says. Swadhyaya is, there are two ways of Swadhyaya. There are two types of Swadhyaya is there. One Swadhyaya is, for example, you are hearing from the Guru. Knowledge is coming to you. And once in a week or twice a week or something like that, you may be attending the Guru. Afterwards, you have to do self-study. That means you have to refer the books, you have to continue, or you have to keep on, if you have the notes or anything, that you have to contemplate on that, you have to work on that. And also the similar text, if anything is there, we have to study or start practicing those things. That is all called Swadhyaya. So Adhyaya means a lesson, lecture, reading. So studying means the self-study. It is the self-studying. So that is one way. That is called studying the scripture, studying the knowledge is the self. The other Swadhyaya is Swa Adhyaya. It is called as Swa means myself. Myself means I have to start introspecting myself. Introspect and correct. Introspect and correct. So that introspection and correction is also called as Swadhyaya. Swadhyaya means external knowledge getting, but internally introspecting and correcting it. In our life, we are doing outer spectrum. This one, extrospecting, introspecting we are not doing. We are analyzing outside friends, relatives, society. Lot of time is there. All the 24 hours we are analyzing, judging outside people. We are not judging ourselves. What is right, what is good, what is not good. Swadhyaya here is, why are you wasting time of judging outside people, outside world? What is that you are going to get? At the most you may get another 10 rupees more. So already you are getting to Artha Kama, already you know how to make it, multiply, everything you know. Further what you are going to do, accumulation only you may do. So instead of that, instead of wasting time of analyzing outside world, outside systems, outside people, you start introspecting. You start analyzing yourself. So that is called Swadhyaya. So first is, in order to analyze myself, I should get knowledge from the scriptures. So after knowing the knowledge, then I have to start introspecting and making correction in myself is also called Swadhyaya. This is an important niyama. So most of the time we have to understand, studying without sadhana, only I am getting knowledge and not doing sadhana is also incomplete. At the same time, sadhana without any study also, you don't know the direction also. Simply you want to do sadhana. What you will get result? Not possible. So sadhana without study is also useless. So study without sadhana is also useless. So sadhana and study should go on hand in hand. So that is why Swadhyaya has come into picture. Swadhyaya, that is the purpose of that. So you have to continuously practice it. And again here also, why unnecessarily you are trying to analyze outside things? At least you are not analyzing the nature. If it is nature is understood, you are able to understand or correlate to your life. External world, that cricket man, he has made lot of money, and tennis man, he has made lot of money. That celebrity has so many followers, and he has spoken good, spoken not good. All these things are, we are talking and analyzing, wasting, judging and passing our judgment. Everything is an energy, and energy we are wasting so easily. We think energy is only bank balance. It is not that. Even this is energy. 24 hours what you have energy, where you are wasting, you have to find out. So you are wasting for external things. So you start focusing to internal things, self-study and setting a self-direction is Swadhyaya. So we have to get into this. What will happen Swadhyaya? Swadhyaya will give strength to withstand for the ups and downs in our life. If you are focused only outside, internal strength you are not going to create. So very quickly we fall. So if you practice Swadhyaya, externally there are ups and downs is going to happen in your life. You are able to withstand, and in spite of ups and downs you can still maintain the inner happiness, and you will discover that inner Ananda. So that is the purpose. For example, a motherhood in the pregnancy from to the childbirth, it is hardship only. Who says it is easy? It pains are there, it is difficult. But all this becomes insignificant because of the baby what you are getting, and the baby smile and baby this one. So all those things has the struggle has become more worthwhile. Similarly, when you do this Swadhyaya and Tapas, all Patanjali, whatever he is saying, if you do, you are getting to get Ananda, which you are not able to get that Ananda or happiness by earning money, by accumulating things, by buying our desires. We are not getting that Ananda. All Ananda from money and our fulfilling our desires is only temporary lived Ananda. So if you make this a sufficient and permanent Ananda is going to get. So you have to try and see to taste this Ananda. That is the purpose Swadhyaya is required. Swadhyaya is literally one's own reading. One's own reading also requires the scriptural study or guru direction is required. Which of your own thing you have to study? Introspection means what I have to introspect. So for that set of things are spoken. No? So that is why whatever in Atma Jnana we are talking, every point is for introspection. Every point you have to start doing introspection, then you are going into the Moksha Marga or you are going to the Atma Jnana. Like that it will be taking you. So whatever you are listening, everything is from scriptures, and that is a direction is setting. So we have to get into that. So Swadhyaya is, by doing Swadhyaya, what happens? The more we realize what we are not, the closer we are becoming to realization. Very simple terms, Patanjali says. The more and more we realize what we are doing, which is not representing me. Simply by outside world, I am just making it. I don't like, but still I am doing it. That means the Swadhyaya, when you start doing, the more we realize that what we are not. What is that we are realizing? We are not this, we are not this, we are not this. So this is not me, this is not me. When you start the introspection, you will get into that. So this is not Prasad, this is not Prasad, this is not Prasad, this is Prasad. So like that, when I start defining inside, so I am very close coming to realization, liberation and moksha. If I am not making this what we are not, segregating what I am not. So when I start segregating what I am and what I am not, I have to only become a referee. So I have to umpire myself. So this is Swadhyaya only can do. Without this Swadhyaya umpireship, you cannot know who is good Prasad, who is bad Prasad, what is Prasad. The defining of the Prasad, you have to define yourself as Prasad means. So you have to say, these are all the things you have to say. this is not me. These are all the things I am. So when you say that, even with that improvement will start. You are already going in the direction of liberation and moksha. That is the purpose of that. So what happens when we listen to our ego? What happens? We always align to, we don't always align to our true beliefs. Whatever our intuition says, you are not going to take that. Whatever your inner feeling says, don't do that. But ego says, no, 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 I have to get more appreciation from outside. Even if it is difficult, you do it. It will punish, my ego will punish my own body, mind. No, 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 you have to extra work. Ego will say. So you have to extra work, hard work you have to do. Ego is my own part, but it is telling me you have to become struggle. Why? People will appreciate you. By appreciating, who will get benefit? Whether the body gets benefit or mind get benefits? No. Ego only gets satisfied. So this is the war is happening. So I versus me. So the small I is versus capital I. The capital I is the self. The small I is the ego. So internally myself is all know many things, good things it know, but this small I ego is there. It will say, no, 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 if you are becoming so lazy, and who will, you have to learn that language, that skill, this skill, in order to get more appreciation. What is this? And simply ego will say and keep quiet. But who has to work? Your body, mind only has to work. Ego only will say, no, 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 you have to. Instead of ego, if the wisdom guides you, you are not going to get struggle so much. So with less struggle, you are going to get more happiness. So that is the purpose of becoming into yoga or becoming into this. So what is our ego does continuously? Ego does self-judging, it happens. Prasad, you are not happy. Or Prasad, you are not good. You are unfit. All these things criticizing, self-criticizing also it does. And it will inculcate fears. It will inculcate conditions of doubt. And everything it will do not only externally, internally also ego pushes to do like this. It will criticize us only, it will make us to fear, it will make us to conditions and imaginary conditions it will create and make you to feel. So these are all called fluctuations of the mind. This is called chitta vritti. Yogascha chitta vritti nirodha. That means this mental fluctuation, this mind fluctuations is happening because of the play of ego. You have to stop. That means when this mental fluctuation is stopped, your fear vanishes because you don't critically judge yourself. The external world, you are not going to compare yourself. So you are happy with yourself. So that is what it will teach you, and slowly that is what required. So that is called Swadhyaya. Swadhyaya is one of the essential thing. So in that, the Swadhyaya will tell you, watch your thoughts. It will say, because watch your thoughts, they become your words. Last time also in the before Patanjali Yoga I have said, I quoted the same, this one, Roganika Upanishad. Again I am telling because it is very relevant here in the Swadhyaya. So in Swadhyaya, what it makes you is watch your thoughts, they become your words. Watch your words, they become your actions. Watch your actions, they become your habits. Watch your habits, they become your character. Watch your character, it becomes your destiny, it says. So that is why we have to do Swadhyaya. Watching means Swadhyaya from the scriptures and watching, introspecting, everything I have to start doing it. So that means Swadhyaya is what we are doing at each moment is also called Swadhyaya. Requires to pay attention. So these are all mind management has to happen. That is in the meditation, it is in the dharana, dhyana, everything it will be. He is discussing that. We will go there and see that. But you should know also what is Swadhyaya. So whenever you are paying attention, your mind has to ask the question, if at all I am doing anything in daily routine, why I am doing this? What is the purpose of doing it? So this is Swadhyaya and introspection. Requires us to be fully present and paying attention on a holistic aspect, not an individual small aspects. No, I get this dress, I will feel happy. It's only a 1 minute this one. On a holistic, you have to see what is the effort of getting, how much money I am spending, all this money I have overworked. Instead of 8 hours, I worked 12 hours to make this money, and now I am spending 1 lakh like this. So what is more balancing is to be done. These are all introspection has to happen. So at that point of time, lot of things you are going to gain. So with less you are becoming more rich. So we have to get into the Swadhyaya mode. That is what Patanjali very clearly says about that. So Patanjali says yoga is the journey of the self. That means yoga is the journey of the self through the self to the self. How beautifully he said. Yoga is the journey of the self through the self. By who has to do the journey? Myself only. To where? In order to find myself. So Bhagavad Gita also echoes the same thing. Patanjali also takes the Bhagavad Gita quote only. He has modified and put that. Yoga is the journey of the self, through the self, to the self. So that means we have to learn Swadhyaya and do that. This is the fourth Niyama. The fifth Niyama is Ishvara Pranidhana. So Ishvara Pranidhana is a very, very profound knowledge. It is Karma Yoga of the Bhagavad Gita in the Karma Kanda, in the Upanishads and Vedas. So Ishvara Pranidhana is surrender to the higher self. The God, whatever we are believing God is, the pictures of God, ideals of God, these are all only the symbolic thing. But the God is always the higher self. So we are only human beings. We are 100 years we can live. But this world is living from millions of years. There are a lot of species of animals are living. And I am also one of the species. That means whether I am managing the world or when I am managing this universe, who is managing this universe? If an ant wants to get its food, so ant is very small, microscopic in nature. Its food should be smaller than ant. So such a small particle of food, ant has to find out. So whether that has got intelligence, it has been given by the God. Somebody has given. So somebody has given all the intelligent, and the ant is also making the procreation. It is going to create some more ants. It is having a shelter. It is eating. It is doing everything. I am also doing the same thing. What is that extra beyond that ant to me? I am doing it. So that means when an ant is living, so there is some force is there. Mountain is living, elephant is living, all the 84 lakh species are there, plant kingdom is there. And everything only if it is there, then only I can live. There is a research says that if all the human beings is killed or not there, the universe is not going to get this one. But there are only the honeybees and ants. If it is killed, if it is eradicated from the world, within 4 years, all the animal kingdom, plant kingdom, everything will die, including man. So such a powerful, because the food cannot grow. This If honeybee is not there, there is no paragasparsha or the pollination will not happen. No growth. Even the plants are nothing can produce. It cannot multiply by itself. Another plant it cannot happen. Animals cannot have food, and animal chain, food chain itself will get killed, and human being also will get killed if we remove ant and bee. So that is a very key to the life. So like that, there are so many key things are there. This is only one of the revelations they are talking. But there is a bigger force is available which is managing the whole universe. So Ishvara Pranidhana means I am surrendering to that higher force. So in an organization I surrender to whom? I surrender means I obey to whom? To the CEO of the company or the shareholders of the company. So that means it is a higher force. I am only an employee. So here also Ishvara Pranidhana, I come to the world. I am a small man. A small 100 years I am going to live. Whereas the world is living millions, billions of years also. So that means in 100 years I want to change the world, that, do that. No. You have to get into moksha. You have to merge with the universe. So if you are going away with the universe, you are going to have a struggle in life. Peace is not there. You are getting into pieces. That is what happens. You get into peace. So you have to go along with the nature. Go means that is the go along with the nature environment means it is a higher consciousness. So that higher consciousness is called as God. So we have to surrender to God means I have a limited consciousness. So there is the universal consciousness, it knows everything. To that consciousness I have to surrender. That means I know very little. You know all the things. I am Alpagnya, you are Sarvagnya. So that Sarvagnya I am surrendering. So I am not talking about Ishvara, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, or that Devi, and all these things are only the rupas of consciousness. They have given the figures. So the consciousness I have to surrender is called as Ishvara Pranidhana. So here Ishvara Pranidhana is all the activities whatever we are doing with a purpose. So all the activities whatever I am morning to evening is doing, I only initiate an activity and work on the activity. In order to complete that activity, lot of help is required from the environment. Lot of help is required from the the universal consciousness. You may decide. For example, you have to go to Delhi. You may decide. Environment has to cooperate, no? That means your driver has to come, your taxi has to come, road block should not happen, and then aeroplane should go in a right, no strike should be there, and no fog should be there to get landing in Delhi. All these things has to happen through environment, and the higher consciousness is managing that. So that means up to certain limit of my action I am responsible. So beyond that whatever happens in cooperation with the higher consciousness, so I have to surrender to that. I have to say thanks to that. I have to be with that higher consciousness. That higher consciousness is called as God. So it is managing this 84 lakh species of the animals and plant kingdom. All the Panchabhutas it is managing, and the whole universe, not only the earth is managing, all the other things also it is managing. So that means you will definitely say it is more than Harvard MBA, more than Stanford MBA, more than Oxford MBA. So that means the consciousness, total consciousness is higher. We have to surrender to that. That is called Ishvara Pranidhana. So Ishvara Pranidhana has got two things. One is Ishvara Prasada Bhavana, another one is called Ishvara Arpana Bhavana. So Ishvara Arpana Bhavana means I do my best without holding my efficiency. I do the highest of that, best of that. That is, and then rest of the thing I allow the time, space. to happen. I cannot make it everything now immediately, not possible. So you have to allow time. You have to put a seed. That seed has to become coconut tree. 15 years it will take. You have to allow. So that means that 15 years you are taking care of the tree? No. You have initiated putting a plant. Whether seed you have brought it? No. It was already available. But your desire wanted that coconut plant, you have put that. So then you have to allow the time, required time, space, all the things. Then the consciousness is managing, universal consciousness is managing and making you the coconut tree. In your house, from the bottom sump, the water has to be pumped to the first floor. That is about 20 feet height is there. How many times you are repairing the pump? How many times electricity is there? Not there. How many times pipes are broken? How many times a tank has to be cleaned? Sump has to be cleaned. How much work is there to pump only for 20 feet? Imagine a coconut plant. The coconut plant is 50 feet tall is their example. It pumps the water to that coconut, the sweet water. It takes the water from the ground below 50 feet. That means the roots are there below 50 feet and plant and the coconut is available 50 feet high. 100 feet it pumps the water with good minerals and makes you coconut and gives you. Which is this intelligence? Who is giving that intelligence? A first floor I cannot get water. If pump is not working, here there is no failure at all. No, continuously every coconut plant is giving without any failure. It is pumping water 100 feet. If that area water is there or not there, it will also extract water from the atmosphere, from the leaves also it will extract water. All the surroundings it will extract water and then make coconut. So that is what the skill is available in the universal consciousness. This is one of the skill. Maybe in the sea if you go, how many types of species are there? Everything is there living. What you are doing? We are not doing anything. We are doing fulfilling our desires. Fulfilling our desires, you are using the nature. You are using the environment. You are using the help of the universal consciousness. If the universal consciousness is not helping, you cannot even move your finger. Not possible. Trunamapi nachalate tena vina. Even a blade of grass cannot move like this without the universal consciousness helping it. So even my finger, that is what Ramana Maharshi said. Can you show me the God? You are already enlightened person. So he said, sit, come here. So he started moving his hand from here to there like this. And then he was keeping quiet. Then again the student asked, so can you show me the God? I have shown you the God, he said. What is God? No, I have moved my hand, you have seen now. What is that? That is only you have moved your hand. In order to move that hand, I am not moving. God is moving. Tomorrow I get a paralytic stroke. Where is me? I am also there. My ego is there. My name is there. Everything is there. I cannot move. So that means every activity of my growing of the nail is happening. How it is happening? Are you doing it? Growing of hair is happening. Growing of replacing of the skin is happening. So everything is the universal consciousness has a lot of database is there, lot of intelligence is there, lot of programming is happening. I have to surrender to that. That is called God, the universal consciousness. I am having a little consciousness, whereas universe has got a great consciousness. That great consciousness I have to surrender. That is called Ishvara Pranidhana. So Ishvara Pranidhana has got subsector into Ishvara Prasada Bhavana, Ishvara Arpana Bhavana. So that means you have to work 100% without holding back. No, if I do so much, somebody will get benefited. Why I should do this? Like this and all, if you start, everybody in other people also do like that. Then totally what you get less only. because he is also doing less, you are also doing less, everybody is doing less. So with less only can be produced. So that means Ishwararpana Bhavana means God has given you the body. It is not even your body. If you have to work sincerely, honestly, and completely you give it. So whatever, do your best. Today present knowledge is there, with that best you have to deliver. Because you are also receiving more than what you are delivering. So you have to give back. That is called Runa. You have to give back more. So sincerely you have to give back. That is called Ishwararpana Bhavana. Do your best, leave it to the rest. The universal consciousness will take care of that. Do your best, it will take care of the rest. So that is called Ishwararpana Bhavana. Okay, then after doing the best, I have done 10%, I should get 200%. It is not a share market. Share market is also a zero-sum game only. Somebody loses, you are going to gain. It is not a win-win game is not there. If somebody has to lose, you will gain. That's all. So if 10 rupees share has gone to 1000 rupees, so somebody has paid 1000 rupees. Where is that 10 rupees has become 1000 rupees? Is notional value is there. That's why share market going to get crash and going to get more and all. It is a zero-sum game. It is a luck game. So it is, what is happening is somebody has to lose. So if everybody is losing, share market cannot go up. Here also, if everybody is losing in this one, Ishwararpana is not there, everybody is holding, then it cannot get back to you. So everybody has to do. So that means Ishwara Prasada Bhavana means if I put 10 rupees, I should get back 10 rupees is a right thinking. But I should get 1000 rupees back is a wrong thinking. So it may be your expectation. But if it comes to 12 rupees, you be happy. That is Ishwara Prasada Bhavana. It is energy also is not yours, body is also not yours, food is also not yours. With all these things, you are having expectation only is yours. With that expectation only you want to make unhappy, happy, my expectation is not fulfilled, that is why I am happy, I am crying. Who are you? So Ishwara Prasada Bhavana means I have to accept karma palam, that is called as karma yoga and karma palam has to be done that. Ishwara Pranidhana has to be understood in a very greater sense. It is not so easy to understand. So there are different ways to interpret this niyama. Ishwara Pranidhana is made up of two words. Ishwara, which translates to Supreme Being, which translates to God or Brahman or ultimate reality or true self. So that is the meaning of Ishwara. Ishwara Pranidhana has got two words. So Ishwara means what all I said, Supreme Being, God, Brahman, ultimate reality or true self. All these things are Ishwara if you say. Pranidhana means which is fixing. That means fixing means I have to fix to the pranidhana, that is a higher self, again I have to get it fixed. Pranidhana is fixing means who has to fix to whom. So I have to fix to this higher self, Ishvara Pranidhana. I have to do, so to surrender, ultimately the word comes to surrender. The word surrender is not liked by people. So that's why surrender means it is a weakness. That is what we say. It is what is weakness? In front of husband and wife, who is strong, who is weak? Why do we fight? What is the necessity to fight? People fight. So ultimately you both put together become a family, and you have to carry on your family as an entity or organization. If one is fighting on another, the organization of the family cannot run successfully. So here surrender, the word if you use, you may feel bad. That is why he is using Ishvara Pranidhana. That means you have to fix to the God, fix to the higher consciousness. So God is a tricky word to work with. So what is God? Underlying idea is something bigger than me. It is a profound, which is we also exist because of that bigger. That is the Ishvara Kalpana we have to have. So Ishvara Pranidhana is offering our actions up to the divine or humanity. So all my activity, whatever I am doing, it has to give benefit to the surrounding, and that surrounding only can give me. My action only will not give me. For example, if I do hard work, I'll get a car means who got it car? Car has come automatically. My surrounding only has given me the car. I have worked hard, but who has given you the car? A factory has made, so many people has made, car has come to you, house has come to you. Means you only earned money. That means if you have put this one, the things will come from the surroundings. That means all your actions has to be offered as Ishvara Pranidham, offering our actions to the higher divine or higher humanity is called Ishvara Pranidhana. So therefore, we have to understand. So Ishvara Pranidhana, state of collective consciousness, it is Upanishad 6. But we are already bothered with God-like figure. God means he has to have something, 4 hands, that head, all these things are our kalpana. So we should be looking into the higher, this one is Ishvara Pranidhana. When we take into daily life, see what we often described is easiest path to peace is and realization is to offer Ishvara Pranidhana. So if you are holding, you are not get the peace or realization. That is already studied by the Darshana Shastras, and we need not again and again study that and get into the trouble of knowing if everything I have given, how can be happy, all these things we need not study. The higher power knows how to balance, it will balance you. And with that itself, whatever it has given, with that also you can be happy. That is what is Ishvara Pranidhana, it says. So here, Ishvara Pranidhana has to be understood in the other sense also. So one is surrendering, another one is letting go. What you are going to letting go? Letting go means all the expectation you have only created. So you are letting go your expectations. In letting go your expectation is, suppose you invested 10 rupees, you got 12 rupees. So that is your expectation is 10 rupees has to become 1000 rupees. But 10 has become 12. So you should be happy or not happy. But I am not happy. I get even 999 rupees also, I am not happy because I have set an expectation of 1000. So in order to be happy, this Ishvara Pranidhana has to be understood in this letting go. Letting go of your expectation, because you only has created your expectation without any proper judgment. So it is very difficult to digest this. But my ego will not permit, because I am losing the control of my life. That is what it will say. It is the monkey mind. Ego mind is a monkey mind. It doesn't know what is good, what is bad. So Ishvara Pranidhana, when you go that, it will tell you what is right, what is wrong. So you have to work on that. So it will be ultimate reality, it will take you there. It is a practice. The practice of surrender means my ego I am surrendering, not anything else I am surrendering. Ego was not given by God. Ego has been created by me only. I have to surrender my ego. To whom? To myself only, not to the world. I am not surrendering to the world. Who is creating the expectation? I am only creating expectation. Then who has to surrender to whom? My ego has to surrender to my own expectations. So with that, peace and happiness is going to come. So that such beautifully Yoga Sutras and Vedas have analyzed. So the practice of surrendering It is not a weak thing. It is the strongest thing. That is what it says. It is surrendering is not to give up at all. So we can look at the aspect of surrendering in two different ways in our practice. We have to see knowing when we need rest, for example. So it shows a huge amount of understanding of ourselves. We burn our midnight oil because my ego says burn your midnight oil. So burn yourself. No, you have to take rest. Your body is going to this one, your mind is exhausted, you are going to make damage to the surrounding, and everything is your consciousness is telling. The universal consciousness is coming in your consciousness and telling, take rest, but you are not going to take rest. You are going to then see in the surrounding, you will say, you know how much struggle I am doing, you are not understanding me at all. How much struggle, 48 hours continuously I am working. Who asked you to work? You are jumping on your wife, children and the subordinates and all the thing. So this is what happening, making me unhappy. Not the external world is not making. So respect our bodies. Ishwara Pranidhana teaches how to respect our body call and our mind call. Body-mind complex call has to be respect. So that is also called Ishwara Pranidhana, respecting and practicing to support, because the body and mind has to support me for the 100 years. Not the car will not support you 100 years, your house will not support you for 100 years, your bank balance may not support you 100 years, but your body and mind has to support you for 100 years. But you are neglecting the body and mind and making that extra rupee, extra name. Is it required? So that is called Ishwara Pranidhana. At that point of time, I have to do surrender. Surrender to the rest. So it is at the long day, I have to say, rest means I should not become lazy, but somewhere you have to introspect, question, and that will be the need of the Ishwara Pranidhana. Ishwara Pranidhana is the concept of letting go of the fruits of our action. That means if my expectation is 10 should come 10 or 10 should become 12, 100, 1000 like that. So in nature, if you see, if you put 100 seeds of coriander, for example, you are putting, only some 25 seeds will come, remaining 75 will go. That means what is the ratio of success? That means in my life I am putting some 110 schemes or 2 ideas. That 2 idea I put all my heart and soul. If 2 fails, I become a disaster. So first of all, I have to create thousands of idea and implement thousands of idea. Maybe 10 ideas may give me result. So, but I create only one idea, that is also copied idea, that only has to give me the whole life. This is my thinking. So this is a wrong thinking. Letting go a wrong thinking will make me Ishwara Pranidhana. So then slowly I get into non-attachment, because when I am starting letting go of my 100%, I am doing my actions, and the fruits I am letting it go. Ishwara Prasad Bhavana. The fruits when I am doing, slowly non-attachment towards that it comes. That is the focal point. Bhagavad Gita also says that. If we put a lot of effort into something which is very important to us, what happens? We often worry about what might happen as a result. So what is happening? We want to put an effort. Very carefully listen to this. Very beautifully Ishwara Pranidhana has to be understood. This is what is the crux of our happiness. So you have to very carefully listen to this. I am also slowly I will tell again, maybe repeatedly. So you put an effort with an expectation, very important for that. But while you are putting an expectation or doing a work itself, your other mind will think, it will start worrying what might happen to the result. So you are still doing a work, you are already thinking of the fruit. What will happen to the result? Will they like me? That means the outside world, will they like me? What if I am not like good enough? If I fail in front of, what will happen? Will this be successful? Will this be a failure? All this worrying about things, what we start doing it, we have no control over this main cause of outside happening. Outside is not in my control. Inside is only I have to deliver my work. So my energy is 100 is there. In our 100 I am doing my work only in 20%. Remaining 80% I am started using for worrying. Like what will happen? Will they like me? Is it good enough? What if I am going to fail? So I have not used my 100%. I have used only 20% towards work, 80% for this faltu worrying. So that means my work is not 100%. I have not done 100%. So Ishvara Prasada Bhavana, Ishvara Arpana Bhavana is not there. I am holding 80%, worrying about myself. So this is Ishvara Pranidhana. So worrying about things which you don't have any control is the main cause for dukkha and suffering. There is no other cause for sukha, dukkha, suffering. A dukkha is a temporary setback is there. A dukkha, a sorrow, this one is there, a sorrow happens. Everybody will get struck. But sorrow, when it is struck, if you are continuously, you want to recapitulate or recall and this all the same feeling, you want to go into same emotions, the same thing you want to live through and through. That means called, that is suffering. Continued dukkha is called suffering. That means the pain is inevitable. Pain will come in life, but continuing the pain is suffering. So it is option is there. So I want to continuously remember this pain and continuously make myself happy, unhappy. So I am suffering because of my own activity. I am continuing the pain. Once already pain happened, that same pain I am going to continue. So that continuing of that suffering is making me not to give 100%. I am giving 80%, 20% only. 80% for this suffering I am using my energy. So that is the thing where we have to understand. I have to withdraw myself, introspect myself. Surrendering means that we have to give 100% Ishvara Arpana Bhavana. So Ishvara Prasada Bhavana is whatever comes out of that I have to do. This both put together when you do, it is called Ishvara Pranidhana. So Bhagavad Gita says, worry does not empty your tomorrow's sorrow. That means if you start worrying, your tomorrow's sorrow will not be emptied. But what it does is, if you start worrying today, it empties your today's strength. It is not emptying your tomorrow's sorrow or depression, tomorrow's worry, nothing it is emptying, but it is emptying your today's strength. So Ishvara Pranidhana, when you start doing is, today's strength also you can gain, tomorrow's strength also you can gain. That is called Ishvara Pranidhana. So we have to very carefully understand this. So remaining fixed to the higher self is going away from the ego. Going away from the ego is the only methodology required to be done. It is not so easy. For that, lot of sadhanas, not one by one, plenty of sadhanas are there. So it is only now it is said here. A day will come in our life, the risk to remain in a tight bud are more painful than the risk to become blossom. So that is what one of the Upanishad says is, so if a bud is fearful, if a flower bud is there, if it is fearful of, because if I am opening from the bud, I am getting pain. So all I have to cut open myself and become blossom like that. It loses the happiness of becoming the blossoming flower. And it is so much blossom, flower, beauty, it is lost. So if you want to live in bud by worrying, or if you want to blossom, So these are the two things we have to question. In order to go from the bud to the blossom level, Ishvara Pranidhana, ego is there. Ego will keep you in the bud form only, and it will not allow you to blossom. So if you come out of the ego, the bud can become a beautiful flower. It can blossom. So that is called Ishvara Pranidhana. When you surrender, you can blossom. And you can blossom means without your effort, you are going to get it. So in that yoga, a lot of methodologies are there. First, we have to understand all the knowledge and then applying that. So there is a methodology in the meditation. It will take you to the state between waking and dreaming, in between state. So there is we know only the either waking stage or the dreaming stage. So you can be consciously go to this stage of waking and dreaming, in which ego mind is not exists. There you can do the programming. So thereby you will get a lot of relaxation. It is more than sleeping, you get a relaxation. In the sleeping also your ego is disturbing. If you go to this stage, this is the stage in Yoga Nidra they call in yoga. In Yoga Nidra, this is the stage we reach in between the dream stage and the waking stage. There your ego is absent. In that absent, you make affirmations, you make this one. So that will be taking care of your life. So that is what it happens. So we have to go to Ishvara Pranidhana means without doing all these things. If you just become Ishvara Pranidhana, we go to that stage even when we are awake also. We need not go to Yoga Nidra also. So that is what Ishvara Pranidhana says. Whether it is surrendering to a moment of difficulty or a moment of joy, or surrendering the results of your action, or simply learning to trust in the universe a little more each time we do, that is why it's called freedom. That means we have to believe in higher self. That is called freedom. So that is called Ishvara Pranidhana. Ishvara Pranidhana, Ishvara Arpana Bhavana, Ishvara Prasada Bhavana. That is giving myself 100%. The 20% I am only working towards the goal. 80% I am worrying, thinking. I am not given 100%. If you give 100%, if 20% only you are getting so much in your life. If you make 100%, everybody gives 100%. Imagine how much you may get the world, maybe richer. So we have to do the 100% surrendering to the higher consciousness to get more. That is called Ishvara Pranidhana. With this, all the 5 niyamas I have completed. So we'll go to the next limb of this one is called asana. We'll go to the next stage. Today's class I conclude. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Harihi om. Shri Gurubhyo namaha. Harihi om.